And now,
So,
story time with Ultimate23Dragon.
I am so using that in future videos.
I never thought in a million years I'd have to do an origin story of anything behind the scenes in relation to my videos, let alone a simple little outro. Because you'd think it'd just be a short, boring video, right? Like, everyone knows that the intro consists of my 5 favorites and my 5 core interests from childhood. The outro is a different 12-second clip depending on the video. See? Short, boring video, right? Until recently. So if you saw the most recent video to this one, which was apparently my mom discovering Will Power, because I could have sworn she's heard his name before, there were a few revamps, including slight upgrades to the intro and a new outro. And quite a few people were intrigued by the outro, as I had anticipated. So I think for clarity purposes, and the request of at least 3 different people, I should tell the story about that, because, no joke, that saga started in 2023. Okay, technically 2022. So, outros have become customary on YouTube for a lot of years. The current version of YouTube outros consist of pop-up cards for whatever you choose. And people have different ways of doing outros. I chose a 12-second clip with the RPM Tonight outro theme accompanying it instead of just a blank space or a weird graphic with circles and squares like others do, just to not be bland or make something awkward at the very ending of a video for the viewer's enjoyment. In 2022, I did make a slight change to that particular type of outro. A voice was added. Okay, so that was the top 10 ways that the SRX series can improve itself in Season 3, and I really hope you guys take this to heart, especially a couple of these. And that way, hopefully, we'll have no issues with the SRX series come Season 3. Because if Season 3 was anything like Season 2, you're not going to have a Season 4. And that'll be a damn shame. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave me your thoughts in terms of what you would recommend to improve the SRX series for Season 3 come the following year. Thank you everyone for watching. This is Ultimate23Dragon, and that's my final answer.
Just hit the button. It doesn't take that long. Subscribe, hit the bells, follow.
Okay, so, that was a legit thing. That was not AI. That legit was Johnny Benson doing a like and subscribe bit for Tim Packman's show, The Garage Shop Insider. Here's the actual clip it came from.
From all of you, we appreciate you watching. We need you to do one little thing. Hit that subscribe button, become part of our team, and Johnny Benson's a subscriber, so he says,
Just hit the button. It doesn't take that long. Subscribe, hit the bells, follow.
That's it. Listen to what Johnny says. Subscribe, Garage Shop Insider. Thank you.
I can't believe Tim got Johnny to do that. I thought that was so amusing and random that I decided to incorporate Johnny's line into my own outro. You know, since he's my favorite driver. So let's fast forward to 2023. Before the Berlin SRX race, I had a bet with a person in this community who you know as DestroyerH6. He was going to be at that Berlin SRX event. Now, before that race, the original idea of the bet was if he could get Paul Tracy to do a subscribe to Ultimate23Dragon outro. Yeah, right, Alex. Why Paul Tracy, you may be asking? Well, prior to Denny Hamlin finally confirming that he wants to be the dictator of NASCAR, Paul Tracy was actually my least favorite driver of all time. So if DestroyerH6 actually succeeded and won the bet, I'd have to use that outro as my outro for the next year or for the next 10 videos that feature a traditional YouTube outro, whichever took longer. If he failed and I won the bet, he would have to buy me something of my choice off my eBay wish list. After the Ken Schrader near rage quit at Motor Mile the week prior, and I'm not making that up. Seriously, how do you get your racing series to be so bad that Ken Schrader threatens to quit it? Paul Tracy was finally suspended from SRX. So, what about the bet? Well, DestroyerH6 and I agreed to an amendment to the bet that the bet would then fall to whoever Paul Tracy's replacement at the Berlin SRX race would be. Well, that person was...
First, an update on our driver lineup after last week's race in Virginia. A late crash in the main event involving Paul Tracy in the green car, Joseph Newgarden in the black car, and Ken Schrader collected into it, resulting in hard contact with the inside wall and hard contact between cars. On Friday, SRX CEO Don Hawk announced Paul Tracy was suspended from competition. His replacement? Well, Matt Yoakum has that story.
Alan, if you're going to go to the bullpen on a bull ring like Berlin, you couldn't pick a better name than Johnny Benson Jr., former track champion here back in the day, and his NASCAR resume is impressive. 2 championships, Xfinity and trucks, and wins in all 3 of NASCAR's top divisions. A Hall of Famer here at Berlin, and he's back one more time utilizing car number 10, the number he drove to Cup Series victory lane.
And all of a sudden, this just turned into a win-win. So either my favorite driver of all time does a YouTube outro for me, or Alex is buying me something off my eBay wish list. In addition, when that was announced, quite a lot of people brought me up. There was no need to do that, but I'm flattered. So come to find out, SRX had their own people and procedures in regards to fan-driver interactions, which was egregiously different from the usual procedures of the tracks that they went to. Meaning it was downright impossible. I have seen quite a few stories from multiple SRX events regarding those concerns. So Alex automatically lost the bet. However, I never got my prize for winning the bet! So the item I had chosen for Alex to get me was this Johnny Benson t-shirt from the Truck Series era. It looks like just a regular t-shirt with his name on it along with the Toyota Certified Used Vehicles version of his 23 truck. But this was one of the most unintentionally hilarious things I have ever seen in regards to racing merch. When you see it, you'll get it. Unfortunately, Alex never got the shirt. Someone else ended up getting the shirt, and I have not seen this shirt on eBay ever since. Grr! That being said, we now fast forward a couple years because we're actually not done yet. So that now leads us to July 11th, 2025. The ISMA Super Modified Series is at Berlin Raceway for the weekend, and even though I heard him say 2024 would be his last year running those things, Johnny Benson was at this event. And again, I've heard the same thing but for 2025, but at this rate, we'll see. Well, DestroyerH6 was also at this event as well. And he is sending me updates and pictures before the event started because he knows I'd be interested, including this. Yeah, okay. Well, at 5:30 p.m., DestroyerH6 sent me a video. This is that video.
So I need you to do one more thing. Can you say subscribe to Ultimate23Dragon's YouTube channel?
I ain't gonna remember all that.
Just subscribe to Ultimate23Dragon's YouTube channel.
Ultimate 22?
23 Dragon.
Ultimate 23 Dragon?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, please subscribe to Ultra Dragon 23 something.
I had a hunch Johnny was not going to get my YouTube name right because of something I noted from my 2021 Berlin Raceway Adventure video when I showed off the goodies at the end of the video.
I don't know why Alex thought this would happen. See, before I came along and Alex found out I was there, literally when I got out of the car, Alex had the idea to have 2 cards autographed by Johnny to me. The first one was this one that he wanted signed as to Mary. That's my real name. So, of course, Johnny did that. The second one, I don't know why Alex thought this would work. He wanted Johnny to autograph this as to Ultimate23Dragon, my YouTube name. I knew for a fact Johnny was not going to do that, and I was right. But I do appreciate the signature regardless.
And unironically, Johnny calling me Ultimate Dragon 23 actually isn't wrong. When I started this account back in 2011, my original idea for a username was in fact Ultimate Dragon 23. However, that name was already taken. YouTube then recommended the alternative name of Ultimate23Dragon, and the rest was history. So even though it finally became a reality 2 years after the initial bet, and though I didn't get my prize for winning that bet, Alex, this is now reality. Although I didn't ask for it, I now have a new outro, a proper 20-second outro, instead of a 12-second one. A funny one because I knew Johnny would not get my YouTube name right. But hey, it's my driver, and this is authentic. It's not just me using an audio clip from another video, albeit that was amusing. I know this wasn't a traditional storytime video. I usually don't have the intro and outro with storytime videos, mainly because of the outro music. But with this new outro not needing music, I'll probably start incorporating the intro and outro in the storytime videos again like this one. Except for the super serious, sad storytime videos. Anyway, that's it for this video. I can't believe I did a storytime video about a YouTube outro, let alone a story this long. The fact this story had such a long and crazy backstory, and it culminated from a bet from 2 years ago, becoming reality, though I still don't have that shirt for winning the initial bet, Alex, was something so unique and unexpected. Alex, thank you so much for doing that for me. That was a neat surprise. I really appreciate it. Johnny, thank you so much for making that a reality. You once again showed what an absolute treasure you are to the entire racing world. And don't worry about getting my YouTube name wrong. I had a feeling that was going to happen. Most people just call me Ultimate Dragon anyway. So thank you everyone for watching. This is Ultimate23Dragon, and that's my final answer.
Can you say subscribe to Ultimate23Dragon's YouTube channel?
I ain't gonna remember all that.
Just subscribe to Ultimate23Dragon's YouTube channel.
Ultimate 22?
23 Dragon.
Ultimate 23 Dragon?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, please subscribe to Ultra Dragon 23 something.